Welcome to the Sailing and Cruising the East Coast of the United States podcast. I'm Bela Musits. This episode is part of a series I recorded with Mike Malekoff during our sailing trip up the East Coast. We were relocating his Hunter 44 Deck Salon from Brunswick, Georgia to Burlington, Vermont. Please note that the video version of this podcast primarily features photographs and short video clips I captured along our journey. The audio was recorded on the boat, typically in the evenings at anchor or in a marina, although we did record a few segments while underway. Join Mike and me as we explore the United States East Coast aboard his Hunter 44 Deck Salon. I hope you enjoy this podcast. Hello, folks. Here we are again. It's Bela and
Mike.
And we are at Half Moon Bay Marina in Croton on the Hudson River. This morning we departed Atlantic Highlands Marina.
Correct.
What time did we leave there, Mike?
We left 6:30 on the nose.
Yes, there you go. And it was about how many miles to get here?
50 nautical miles today, which it was a long day because of the current on the Hudson River. We left at 6:30, and I will say the weather was spectacular today, as it was dead calm. We did have to cross the channel opening for the Hudson River, and it's big, and it can be rough at times, but this morning it was pretty much dead calm going into that. And I did time it right with going through what's called the Narrows, which is right by the Verrazzano Bridge, that the tide was actually helping us at that point. So we were moving pretty quick all the way through there into the Hudson, into New York City, and then it changed.
Yeah, I mean, we were doing 4.5 to 5.
Yeah.
And we were going against the tide of anywhere from 1/2 to 1 knot against us.
Correct.
But it worked out just fine. The scenery today was spectacular. If you can ever take your boat and go through New York Harbor, and I don't think it really matters whether you go up the Hudson River or you go up the East River into Long Island Sound. Either way, it's a spectacular. I've done both, and either way, it's spectacular. We had a beautiful look at the Statue of Liberty. The sun was shining on it. It was radiant, is the best way that I can say it. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Manhattan with all the skyscrapers and the beautiful clear day we had. It really was a sight to see.
And the other thing that was definitely a benefit, and I wish to say that we had timed it this way, but we went through Manhattan on a Sunday morning. And well, what difference does Sunday make? Well, I can speak from experience, having an office in Manhattan for 30 years, is during the week, the ferries are sort of like gnats going to and fro, up and down the river, across the river, around the Staten Island ferry, and it is tough, and you get waked to death. And today, there were some ferries running, but I can speak from experience. It was a piece of cake. Didn't have to avoid too many ferries, so we could focus on checking out the scenery, and it is. And I worked in Manhattan for many 30 years, and it's just a neat experience to see it from the water on your own sailboat, as opposed to the years I spent on a ferry looking at the scenery, primarily looking at my phone or reading reports. But it was nice. It was a great day, and best of all, after the past week of rock and roll on the boat, we had dead calm water. So the boat was very stable. It was easy to move around, and you didn't have to hold on all the time.
Yeah, I will concur about great planning on your part and having us come through here on Sunday. Because when I did the East River, the last time I did the East River, it was a weekday, and the East River is narrow, and it's got concrete walls on both sides. So the wakes just bounce off back and forth, and that has lots of ferries, lots of these high-speed ferries, and man, it's a busy place, and you got to pay attention. And throwing a couple of tugs, pulling barges, and it's a handful of. And your neck has to be on a swivel because you got to be looking in front of you, you got to look behind you, you got to look to your left, you got to look to your right, and it's interesting.
And there were no cruise ships coming in either. So.
No cruise ship. Went by a nice big cruise ship.
Yes, but he was docked.
Yeah. So it was all in all a great trip today, I think.
Overall, it was definitely what I would call more of a relaxing day for us, and going up the Hudson River is a scenic and pleasant trip. There's just nice scenery. We saw a bunch of sailboats that were out on the river today. A lot of little small boats that people had, but it was, very, very light winds, but it was a great day to just be out.
And yet again, our record continues. We motored all day. The wind that we did have was right on our nose, so there really wasn't any hoisting the sails up or not. If the wind would have been at a different angle, maybe we could have for a little while.
Yeah.
But we continued motoring, our motoring trip, as it's turning into.
Our motoring season continued.
Yeah. So this marina here at Half Moon Bay, I would say, first time I've ever been here, and my observation would be the dockmaster here is really attentive, came out to help us dock the boat, gave us all sorts of information on where to go eat, how to provision, was very, very helpful.
Yeah.
And he seems like a really good guy. As a matter of fact, I think I went for a run this afternoon, and I went up to take a shower, and so it was like 6 o'clock or so. I was taking a shower, and there was no toilet paper. So I texted him. And he said, I'll be right there. And, I know at my marina at 6 o'clock in the evening, if you're out of toilet paper, you're out of toilet paper till the next day. So very attentive. And he came down and helped the boat dock. It was like we were eating dinner. It was like 7-ish, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really good service. But I will say that the facility needs a refresh.
Yeah, it's worn.
Yeah, it's worn. But they're well protected. They got a nice breakwater here. So you don't get waked from the big freighters going up and down the river. It's well protected. The fairways, are wide enough so you can make a turn and all that kind of stuff. But it does need a refresh.
But for an overnight stop, it's fine.
Yeah, and we didn't walk downtown, but he gave us a whole bunch of information. It sounds like there's plenty of places to go downtown and enjoy a meal or any supplies you might need.
Yes. So basically, Bela, from here, we discussed we're 2 days travel away from the marina that will demast the boat for us to go through the canals. So we're getting close to that. So we already started planning how to get the boat ready, because there's a whole bunch of things that we're going to have to do to get the boat ready for us to be able to drop the mast. And we also learned that the canal system, which was supposed to open this weekend, is in a delay because of high water. Hopefully tomorrow maybe there'll be a notice, but we're prepared to hunker down at the marina where the mast will come down and wait there, because once the mast is down, we start to go through the Champlain canals from here. So a lot will be going on.
And I'm sure we'll have an episode where we'll describe what we had to do to get the mast down and the mast secured and stuff, because a lot of you listeners may be interested in that, and we'll devote one episode to that.
Yes, because it is an involved process. It goes very quickly because I've done it before. Well, I have to say I've done it now. This will be the third time having to deal with this. But it goes quickly, but there's a lot of detail in order to do it. And probably the biggest thing is you can almost do everything yourself except for the one thing. You need a crane. Now, I say this only because my boat, the mast is 50 some feet long, and it is heavy. I think the one guy that told me it weighs 700 pounds, something like that. So it's heavy. So you do need a crane. But other than the crane and picking it up off the deck and lowering it, everything else is up to you, really, to take care of and secure and get ready for moving.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I've never done that before, so this will be a new experience for me. And let's see, tomorrow we're headed to
Poughkeepsie.
Yes, the Shadows on the Hudson, I think is the name of the marina, and it's
Correct.
in Poughkeepsie. And it's my sort of old stomping ground. I grew up in the Poughkeepsie area. I spent my teenage years there in high school, and so that'll be sort of neat for me to go by on the river, all these places that are kind of familiar. So I'm looking forward to that.
So you can give me a tour.
I can give you a tour, although I think I'm 71, so if I spent my teenage years there, I hope it has gotten...
Something has changed?
Something has changed. Something has changed, either for the better or the worse. I'm not sure which way, but one of those. It definitely has changed. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I think that's it for tonight.
That is it. There wasn't a lot to discuss, which was good in the sense that it was a great day to relax and move the boat and not have the boat rocking back and forth. So it was a good day, and looking forward to moving on, as you say.
Yep. So thanks for listening. Hope you enjoy these episodes. We'll catch you next time. Hope you enjoyed this episode. And as always, if you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to contact us at sailingtheeast, that's all one word, at gmail.com. That's sailingtheeast at gmail.com. Thanks for listening.